Now on Wake Up, Paro Middle School students are getting ready to go back to the classroom. We take a look at how the work is going on campus and how students are feeling.
And this morning, we're starting the day off with those low clouds, but by this afternoon, we're looking at a chance of showers and thunderstorms. I'm breaking it all down for you.
Plus, Car Week kicks off tomorrow, but how is business for hotels on the peninsula? Our Carl Cook is live for us this morning.
This is not even the worst of it.
And wildfires destroying iconic parts of Hawaii. Multiple people dead and thousands displaced. We are keeping a close eye on this situation. Wake Up starts now.
Welcome to Wake Up on KION News Channel 46.
Good Thursday morning to you. It's August 10th. I'm Anna Torrea. Thanks for waking up with us. Well, let's kickstart your Friday Eve with a first check of weather. Here's our meteorologist, Erica Bertine. Good Thursday morning to you, Erica. I feel like we've had quite a busy start already.
Yeah, it's been a little hectic, hasn't it? Thank you for joining us here on Wake Up. And I have to say, Anna, you're always a tease when you're like, happy Friday Eve.
Hey, I just got to say, we're already at the tail end of the week.
I like it, though.
We got to look forward to something.
We got to have something to look forward to. We do have something to look forward to this afternoon into the evening, and that is the chance of some isolated showers and thunderstorms. But before we get to that, we're going to take a live look from Domenico's on the Wharf here in Monterey, where we are seeing not just low clouds, but that fog has already started to form in places like Salinas, down around the peninsula, around Marina, up into Watsonville this morning. So if you have that commute already on Highway 1, you are going to be dealing with some fog. We could be squeezing a little bit of drizzle out of these low clouds as well this morning, but fog looking like the bigger story for the start of your day. So again, widespread low clouds. Our marine layer almost seems like it's been kind of compressed a little bit this morning, and hence why we are seeing some visibility issues around, again, Highway 1 into the peninsula. We're starting to see that fog thicken up a bit in Salinas and starting to see a little bit of that as well in the Hollister Gilroy area. One thing I want to point out too, we also have those high clouds starting to push into our area from the south. This is that monsoonal/tropical moisture that's going to be heading our way later on this afternoon into this evening. Again, we're going to be breaking it down, timing, and what you can expect out of the system heading our way. Anna?
Thanks so much for that, Erica. Paro Middle School students are gearing up to go back to the classroom, but the damage caused by flooding back in March continues to force them to attend other schools. Our Natalie Gutierrez spoke with school leaders to see how the construction process is going so far.
This photo you see here shows the destruction that Pajaro Middle School endured earlier this year because of the storms. Because of the extensive damage, the middle school has been closed and students had to relocate to a different school. Mia Lopez is a 6th grader at Lakeview Middle School. She says she's anxious about her first day at school.
I feel a bit scared because there's some people that you don't know from another other schools. So it'll be interesting to meet new people.
Pajaro Middle School was closed back when the levee breached back in March. District leaders tell me the middle school will remain under construction for the rest of the year. What does that mean for students?
One principal will oversee all the teachers, will oversee the 2 assistant principals. I've been in touch with the school at Lakeview, actually several times. The principal has gone out to parks in Pajaro, invited families to come. She's come out with popsicles just to say hello, just to let them know she's their principal, they're her families. And so we have a principal who's really building a sense of belonging.
I asked district leaders how the Pajaro Middle School construction process was going, and they said,
everything from your ankle on down is going to be brand new. We are able to get some new equipment. We're going to have a fresh coat of paint. There's a beautiful new wood floor going to be in the gym and the foyer. So some of the school will really be sweetened.
Pajaro Valley Unified School District says it will cost between $7 to $8 million to finish repairing the school. In Pajaro, Natalie Gutierrez, KION News Channel 46.
Paro Valley Unified School District says 90% of the middle school's construction costs will be covered by FEMA. Well, Car Week kicks off tomorrow, and for hotels along the peninsula, they're starting to see reservations call in. But how is it comparing to last year? Our Carl Cook is live for us now in Monterey County, where hotels are gearing up for this big event. Carl, how are things looking for them so far?
Yeah, so we did check in with some hotels, and while some are seeing their rooms nearly sell out, others aren't seeing the same type of reservations as they've seen in years past. Now, some hotels like the Marriott say they are fully staffed and getting ready for the large amount of guests that have called in for a room. But other spots like the Monterey Bay Lodge aren't seeing the same amount of reservations like in years past. The Monterey Bay Lodge says that the amount of rooms booked for Car Week is much smaller compared to the last 3 years.
We have about 45% occupancy left to sell. And we do have an average daily rate of $100 more than last year.
Now, one reason hotels are seeing a drop in reservations is the rising prices. Monterey Bay Lodge says that 2 years ago, the average price for a room was $281. The price now has jumped to about $526. Now, the general manager of the Monterey Bay Lodge says that some factors that caused that price jump are because of COVID and rising inflation prices. Reporting for Wake Up, I'm Carl Cook, KION News Channel 46.
All right, thanks for that, Carl. Now, numbers from the Monterey County Convention Center and Visitors Bureau also showed $65 million were spent in the county during Car Week last year. Of that, $48 million was in hotel revenue. And the Monterey Police Department is increasing its patrols to address violations that happen during Car Week. In years past, Monterey Police say they've seen an increase in illegal racing, reckless driving, and illegal smog modifications, just to name a few. Last year, officers say they made more than 200 traffic stops during the week, resulting in 149 traffic citations, 5 towed vehicles, and 10 arrests. Police say anyone caught in speeding contests or reckless driving will be arrested. Vehicles will also be impounded for 30 days. Drivers who are also found driving or parking outside designated truck routes will be subject to a $260 fine. And heads up, drivers, you might want to give yourself some extra time because a construction project near Greenfield might impact your drive. That project will lead to on and off ramp closures, and crews say northbound closures will be in place from 8 in the morning until 3:30 in the afternoon. During the following days and locations, now here's a list of when those closures will be happening, starting, like we said, Tuesday, going until Friday. For more details, you can head to our website, newschannel46.com. Time now is 5:07. Let's take a live look from our Mount Toro cam. And I feel like it's hard to see, but there is a picture of Mount Toro. Erica, we can see a little glow of the city underneath all those clouds there.
Yeah, that sun hasn't risen quite yet. That sunrise, by the way, is at 6:20 a.m. I can't say this enough. Our days are getting later, or I should say shorter and shorter. I kind of noticed this while I was still up during sunset too last night. But temperatures, if you're heading out the door, not too bad. In those mid-50s around the coast, we're seeing those mid to upper 50s for the Salinas Valley, as well as Hollister. Some cooler temperatures in Gilroy in those mid-50s, but most of us can expect those 50s as you're heading out the door today. So again, right where we should be, not much change in our temperatures this morning compared to yesterday. We are going to see the warm up ever so slightly around that 10 a.m. hour for our inland locations in those 60s. But again, overall today, we are going to see temperatures below average for this time of year. We're going to see some patchy fog and drizzle this morning, keeping those low clouds for the majority of the morning. They will start to clear out, and we are going to have those low clouds being disrupted by some of those high clouds moving in. Our atmosphere is going to become a little bit unstable. So we are watching that tropical monsoonal moisture heading our direction from the south. There's a chance of showers and thunderstorms, but we have some calmer weather as we head into this weekend. And out of the weekend, we'll be looking at another warm up. More on that coming up in your full forecast.
This morning, at least 36 people are dead and thousands displaced after wildfires quickly burned through the Hawaii island of Maui. Jared Hill has the latest on the devastation there.
A piece of paradise lost. Charred remains on Maui after terrifying flames burned through the iconic Hawaiian island.
This is not even the worst of it. Still get dead bodies in the water floating and on the seawall. We've been pulling people out since last night, trying to save people's lives.
Thousands scrambled for shelter as flames roared through residential neighborhoods.
This was a home.
Historic Lahaina, once the capital of the Hawaiian Kingdom, incinerated. The flames were fueled by strong winds from Hurricane Dora, the storm passing well south of the Hawaiian Islands.
We're still trying to assess the amount of damage, but the road to recovery will be long.
Oh my
From Richie Olson's helicopter, a smoky view of the scope of destruction. According to officials, nearly 300 structures burned to the ground.
Well, I've flown on Maui for 52 years. I've never seen anything 1/100th as a devastation there.
As visitors wait in long lines at airports trying to get off the island, shelters are packed with residents who have nowhere else to go. Though help begins to pour in, there are concerns that Maui's relative isolation could make recovery that much more difficult. Jared Hill, CBS News, New York.
Look at this.
Maui's mayor said they are still in search and rescue mode since there are several people unaccounted for. He also adds that others could have taken shelter in vehicles or other places. The acting governor issued an emergency proclamation discouraging all non-essential travel. In the Bay Area this morning, Oakland firefighters investigating how a fire broke out at a scrap metal recycling facility near the Port of Oakland. Crews responded quickly to the scene, and firefighters were able to contain the fire to a single pile of scrap. But it took hours to put out because of the stubborn nature of these types of fires. The large plume of smoke rising from the facility made for a very striking sight, as you can see there. There's still no word yet on how this might affect the air quality in Oakland and for the rest of the Bay Area. Hundreds of protesters in Southern California shut down a freeway for hours when they were showing their frustration with Representative Adam Schiff. Take a look at the video here. You can see there CHP officers on scene, that group of protesters blocking cars, and even that big rig there. They were using their bodies to stop traffic to get their message across. They called the event Rally for Life, claiming that Schiff hadn't done enough to stop ongoing blockades in Armenia. Protesters refused to move despite CHP officers ordering them to disperse. The massive line of cars behind the officers stretched out for miles because of those protests. Senator Dianne Feinstein is recovering this morning after a minor fall in her home. Senator Feinstein's office said that she went to the hospital on Tuesday as a precaution. All of her scans were clear, and the 90-year-old is currently the oldest member serving in the Senate. She has been facing calls to resign after an extended absence this year following a shingles diagnosis. Current oil production in the U.S. could shatter the all-time record set 4 years ago. Government estimates released earlier this week project American oil output could hit an average of 12.8 million barrels per day this year, for the first time ever. That's about 500,000 barrels per day more than the annual record set back in 2019. And the next year, the output is expected to climb to 13.1 million barrels a day. Well, the Santa Cruz Warriors are getting a coaching staff shakeup. They're welcoming a new head coach to the team as the old one is getting a promotion. Straight ahead, our sports director Maxwell Glenn joins us to talk about those changes. He has also all your other sports headlines. Plus, heavy storms in Scandinavia caused some dramatic scenes on Wednesday. But first, let's get you out the door with our Erica Bertine.
Let's go ahead and head into your lunchtime hours where we're going to see those temperatures in those 60s around the coast, 60s and 70s inland, and then we do have that chance of an isolated shower for southern portions of our viewing area starting early. But again, I'm breaking this all down for you in your full forecast on the other side of the break.
This segment of the news is brought to you by Monterey Bay FC Union.
Relive racing history with hundreds of historic race cars at the Rolex Monterey Motorsports Reunion August 16th to 19th. Hundreds of the best from the high-revving Formula One Ferraris and Lotuses to the ground-pounding thunder of the Cobras and Corvettes. Meet legendary drivers, indulge in delicious food and refreshing beverages, and take a spin on the Ferris wheel or go-kart to add to the family experience. VIP hospitality passes to the Legends Club are still available. Buy your tickets now at WeatherTechRaceway.com.
Next 5, special guest co-host Ryan Seacrest with Keanu Reeves. Plus, Jennifer Aniston.
Gorgeous shoes, by the way.
Thank you.
On KION News Channel 46.
Wilson's Plumbing and Heating. We've been in business since 1941, and we couldn't have done it without your support. For 9 decades, the Wilson's family has proudly called the Monterey Peninsula our home, offering the same red carpet treatment you've grown to trust. Founder Al Wilson started the business in 1941, stressing the importance of customer service and applying cutting-edge technology. Years later, those same values are being carried out by Gary and George Wilson. Wilson's Plumbing and Heating, serving our community since 1941.
At California Closets, we believe every space, large or small, deserves a custom solution. Great design comes from listening, collaborating, and problem solving.
We had the most wonderful experience. Our designer was outstanding to work with. She listened to our vision and also respected our budget.
Because the spaces we design create more room in the place you call home. That's what we call practical magic. Start your California Closets experience with a free design consultation.
For all of your improvement projects, make sure you have a plan and trust a local licensed professional. You'll be glad you did. Sponsored by Kastner Exterminating, Pest Control Expert, Associated Services Heating, Solar and Air, and Wilson's Plumbing and Heating, Expert Plumbing Services.
Heavy storms hitting parts of Scandinavia hard for several days, and it caused rivers there to overflow. Take a look at this dramatic video here that left a home drifting downstream. It looks like it's trying to make its way underneath this bridge here. That home sliding into the river, leading to some very destructive results. And even though it looked bad now, Norway still isn't done with all that rain. That's quite a scene to see, like, looks like an RV, a home, making its way underneath that overpass.
I don't know if I'd be wanting to stand on that bridge with all that debris heading underneath of it. You just don't know how well that bridge is going to hold up there.
Yeah, I think I would have watched from the side.
Yeah, exactly where that camera view was coming, or where that view was coming from, right? Yeah. It's crazy to see. It's not just here across the country, but around the world. We're seeing these extreme weather events happening, from flooding to fires. It's everywhere right now. It's been a very wild summer for many, but we got some wild weather heading our way. Now, one thing I want to start off with, this event that's moving through, this monsoonal moisture and remnants of Eugene, that moisture, this is not the same kind of event that we saw in August of 2020 that brought all that lightning to the area, that brought, of course, the fires that we're all very familiar with. So I wanted to just kind of point that out right now. So these are going to be very isolated events. I am expecting some lightning in the viewing area, not just now in southern Monterey or San Benito County, but I am expecting to see some lightning really pretty much around all three counties. So this is what we're looking at. I have high pressure here that's helping to swing in this moisture. So this is the monsoonal moisture, and then of course we have a little bit of moisture, the remnants of Eugene. This right here is actually dry air. So oddly enough, the red is representing the dry air in our area, but we do have that moisture that is already starting to head up into our direction. So here's the breakdown of it. We're going to start the day with those low clouds in the valleys this morning around the coast. And of course, we have those high clouds streaming in from the south here. They're going to continue to stream in as we head through the morning into your lunchtime hour. Still not expecting any activity around that lunchtime hour. It's not until really right around, I should say after lunch, as we head into the later afternoon, we start to see some of this moisture and this instability forming, that we start to get some of these isolated showers. Again, this is going to be later on this afternoon into the early evening, with the activity starting in southern Monterey and San Benito County. You can see that here. Now, with this, it's not like a cold front that we're timing out for you. These are going to be isolated. They're going to pop up wherever there's going to be some instability. So it's going to be really hard to actually indicate where and when these storms are going to pop up. So this is just kind of a general reference for you. We're going to continue to see that moisture moving into our area. Here we go. We got some more heading into San Benito County. It's going to continue to fling into other locations such as Monterey and maybe even Santa Cruz County through the overnight hours into tomorrow morning, and then we'll continue to have some isolated showers with that as we head into Friday afternoon, with most of the activity starting to die down by tomorrow afternoon into tomorrow evening. Now, we still kind of have that low. You can see that here, moving storms into our area, so we might have a chance of an isolated showers. Not expecting any thunderstorms out of this on Saturday, but we still do have the chance to see some isolated showers on Saturday as this low continues to push in a little little bit of moisture into our area. We'll start the day off on Saturday with those low clouds again. So right now we're already starting to see some of that activity here. You can see that here in, I should say Santa Barbara County. There we go. We're starting to see that moisture already, some of which we've already started to see some lightning. So this is the activity moving our way. We're already starting to see it on some of our radar. So as far as that lightning, here's what your future lightning looks like. We are seeing that pushing into our area here. And again, these are going to be isolated cells. These are going to be isolated lightning storms, or thunderstorms, I should say. And thankfully, though, it does look like we could see a little bit of rain with this as well. So future precip, not a lot. We're going to be less than 1/10 of an inch for many locations, but some of these isolated cells that could be moving through our area could give us some brief heavy downpours, though I'm not really expecting that. At least some of these cells, we will still see some rain, some moisture with it, and so that's our hope. With that said, anytime we have lightning in the picture, we have to stay very weather aware and very fire aware with that, even if we do see some of these cells with that moisture out there. So I'm going to be breaking down your temperatures, what you can expect this afternoon, and a look at your 7 days, because we do have a warm up on the way coming up in just a bit.
Time now for a look at the latest in sports, and we'll start off in Santa Cruz, where there have been multiple shakeups within the Warriors organization, including the naming of a new head coach, Nicholas Kerr. He'll be taking the reins of the G League team. Nick is the son of Golden State Warriors head coach Steve Kerr and has served as an assistant in Santa Cruz the past 2 seasons. Before that, he worked in the video room with the Golden State Warriors for 3 years. He'll now take over a team that finished 18-14 last season. Kerr replacing head coach Seth Cooper, who's now been called up to Golden State. There, Cooper will assume the role of Director of Player Development. That's after 2 years as the head coach of the Sea-Dubs. He'll split the duties with David Fatoki, Santa Cruz's general manager. Fatoki will still oversee basketball operations in Santa Cruz despite the new role. And staying in the area, former Santa Cruz High School and Cabrillo College baseball star earned some honors. Brady Chavez named reliever of the year for the Humboldt Crabs. The right-hander pitcher playing for the Wood Bat team made 15 appearances this summer, and get this, he never gave up a run. Of the batters he faced, Chavez struck out 44, picking up 1 win and 5 saves in the process. Fun fact, the Humboldt Crabs are coached by Robin Guyver, pitching coach at San Lorenzo Valley High School. And from the diamond to the pitch, the dust is finally settled after Rafael Baca's highly anticipated debut with Monterey Bay FC. I had a chance to catch up with the veteran midfielder, talking about all things soccer from his early days to his most recent match. Obviously, his debut was a significant career milestone, but Rafa said it was also a big moment for his family as a whole. Here's a clip from that interview.
It was emotional for me because it was a time that was also important because my parents were able to come and see me again live in a game. After those 10 years that I was gone, they were only able to see me through a television, and now to have them here in the stadium was also exciting for me.
A truly special moment. That's part of the whole conversation. Stay tuned for the full interview later this week. It will be available in both English and Spanish on KION and Telemundo. And that is your look at sports.
Big changes are coming to local news September 12th.
Associated Services, you're always comfortable with us.
Regardless of the weather outside, Associated Services will keep your home comfortable year-round. Plus, we maintain all makes and models of new heating or air conditioning units with the best quality service. With over 37 years experience.
Beyond compare. Associated Services, you're always comfortable with us.
Teens have drama.
1 more minute.
Braces add more drama.
Oh, how does anyone do this?
Invisalign is better oral hygiene and no drama.
As I was saying earlier in the meeting, I think
Hey Sharon, do you know Triscuit is crunchy on the outside, yet incredibly wholesome on the inside, just like me.
You forgot salty.
I'm not salty. Triscuit, unapologetically wholesome.
Dr. Jennifer Satchel is excited to join the Monterey community all the way from New York City.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jen.
As your orthodontist, it's my goal to create an aesthetically superior smile that lasts a lifetime.
Dr. Jen and her team of expert professionals focus on providing individualized treatment with exceptional attention to detail while creating a memorable experience for families. Visit Dr. Jen at Wow Smiles, conveniently located in Monterey. Call us to schedule your complimentary exam.
At Central Coast Federal Credit Union, membership means more. Members enjoy community checking accounts with no monthly service fee, access to special certificate rates, and competitive home equity line of credit offers. There has been no better time than now to become a member at CCFCU. We have been community-minded for 74 years. 74 years of giving you more. Visit us at any of our 4 branch locations in Seaside, Salinas, Soledad, and King City. We would love to meet you. CCFCU, where membership means more.
Let me be direct. You're watching football wrong. What do you call a guy in face paint that can't get the game? A clown.
Sorry, what app was it again? No, just give me a second.
Amateurs.
Oh! Sorry, everybody.
DirecTV Sports Central gives you access to every game. So you never have to compromise on game day.
Was that necessary?
I was just illustrating a point.
Oh.
Get in the red zone with SportsPack. Call 1-800-DirecTV.
Well, feast your eyes on this, because you better believe it. It's a sculpture of a cow made from 500 pounds of butter. Telling you, you better believe it. Folks at the Illinois State Fair unveiled the butter cow on Wednesday. Now, the butter cow has been an unofficial icon of the fair since the 1920s, with this one taking its sculpture 5 days and a whole lot of unsalted butter. And it will be on display throughout the State Fair. But if you want to see it at home some more, there's also a live butter cow webcam on the fair's website. I don't know if that's something I would do, but if I'm bored, why not?
Okay, first off, I'm like 5 days. That's all it took. That's pretty impressive. Secondly, I thought this butter cow was like in some sort of like test tube or something. It's just kind of, you know, like the aliens that kind of in movies. All right, anyway.
Maybe it's a gigantic like fridge test tube.
Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at your temperatures here. Really not much change from yesterday. We're going to be in those 60s around the coast, 70s and 80s inland. Overall, it will be cool today and below average for this time of year. Here's a look at the next 7 days. We do have that active weather today into tomorrow. Most of the activity coming later on this afternoon into the evening and more so through the overnight hours. And then we'll start to dry out and clear out as we head into the weekend. Inland, the return of those 90s will be making their way.
Step into a living museum where the famous race cars of the past come roaring back to life. Join us at the Rolex Monterey Motorsports Reunion, taking place August 16th through 19th at WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Seca. Secure your tickets now at WeatherTechRaceway.com.
Regardless of your type of roof or what you want on your roof, our roofing experience is backed by thousands of successful projects. We've seen generations of quality roofing projects completed for satisfied customers throughout the Central Coast. Every roof we install maintains the Primo Roofing seal of satisfaction.
Excitement comes standard with the Honda Accord, and so does a turbocharged engine. Sophisticated, high-tech, style that enhances functionality. Stand out with the Honda Accord. From Honda, the most awarded brand in Car and Driver 10 Best history. Contact your Honda dealer today or shop online.
Baker Brothers Appliance and Furniture in Watsonville is your local headquarters for top quality appliances. Check out this Maytag washer and dryer, 5.2 cubic foot, and this electric dryer, 7.4 cubic foot, sensor dry cycle, Energy Star models. How about this Whirlpool gas slide-in range, 5 cubic foot, frozen bake technology, and 2 speed heat burners. Or this Whirlpool gas freestanding range, 6 cubic foot, gas double oven, frozen bake technology, and easy to lift. Shop Baker Brothers Appliance and Furniture today, serving the entire Central Coast.
Hi, my name is Adrian Raboyar from Watsonville, California, and I'm a professional soccer player for Monterey Bay FC. Join us for our next match at Cardinale Stadium in Seaside. For tickets and more information, visit MontereyBayFC.com.
Next 5, special guest co-host Ryan Seacrest with Keanu Reeves. Plus, Jennifer Aniston.
Gorgeous shoes, by the way.
Thank you.
on KION News Channel 46.
Step into a living museum where the famous race cars of the past come roaring back to life. Join us at the Rolex Monterey Motorsports Reunion, taking place August 16th through 19th at WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Seca. Secure your tickets now at WeatherTechRaceway.com.
Weeknights at 7 on KION News Channel 46.
Now on Wake Up, a terrifying first day of school for some students in Capitola. A bomb threat forced one school there into lockdown. Plus, a Salinas man now dead after a confrontation with Monterey County deputies. What led up to this incident? And a man threatening to kill President Biden now dead after an FBI raid. The words he made to the president and other top leaders.
And we're starting the day off with those low clouds, but we are tracking some monsoonal moisture that's heading our way. That's going to bring us some isolated showers and thunderstorms. I'm breaking it all down for you. Wake Up starts right now.
Welcome to Wake Up on KION News Channel 46.
Good Thursday morning to you. Thanks for joining us at this 5:30 half. I'm Anna Torrea. What was supposed to be a happy and exciting first day for students at New Brighton Middle School in Capitola turned into a rush to get them out of the classroom. A bomb threat forced the school to go into lockdown. The school district tells us a voicemail was left warning of a bomb threat. However, the message wasn't played until the following morning by office staff after school had already started. At that point, the administration evacuated students out of the building and onto the field for safety. And once all the students were accounted for, the reunification process began at Shoreline Church. It appears that this was not the threat. There was no threat. The superintendent praising students for how they reacted.
Can you imagine the first day of middle school, traumatic enough, right? Going to middle school for the first day and then something like this happens. But I just have to give our students a lot of credit. They stayed very calm.
Now we are working to get a response from Capitola PD this morning. The school's principal says students will be back on campus at 9:15 this morning. Many students still have their belongings in the classrooms and will be able to get them at that time. Monterey County deputies say that they had to use deadly force against a man who was allegedly threatening someone with a knife in Salinas. The victim called 911 from a home on the 400 block of Highland Drive around 9:30 Tuesday night, but the call with the dispatcher ended abruptly. And this is video of that neighborhood on Wednesday. The sheriff's office says authorities tracked the call and responded, trying at first to de-escalate the situation, but they had to use deadly force. Now we checked, deputies with the Monterey County Sheriff's Office do not have body cams. We also reached out to the DA's office and are working on getting a response from them. A man is dead this morning after being hit by a large box truck. That's according to CHP. Officers say it happened along the 101 South near San Martin Avenue around 12:30 Wednesday afternoon. A 36-year-old man pulled on the shoulder adjusting cargo on his vehicle when the driver of a box truck made an unsafe turning movement and hit the victim, who later died at the hospital as a result of his injuries. CHP says the driver is cooperating with the investigation. Drugs or alcohol do not appear to be a factor in this crash. In Big Sur, a man is now sentenced to 30 years in prison for molesting a child. That's according to the Monterey County DA's office. 33-year-old Jose Alfredo Saquic pled guilty to 30 counts of committing forcible lewd acts on a child under the age of 14. The DA says the victim reported the crime to a family member, and she was sexually molested multiple times over the course of several years. Along with his sentencing, he is also required to register as a sex offender for life. A Santa Cruz County judge officially denied convicted sex offender Michael Cheek a transient release during a court hearing this week. Plans had originally been in place for Cheek to be placed into an RV in an unincorporated part of Santa Cruz County. Now that it's been denied, the judge is calling for a housing committee to meet before the end of the month to discuss other housing options. The next steps and a report on that information will be released at Cheek's next hearing on September 12th. An investigation is underway this morning following a vegetation fire in Marina on Wednesday. The Marina Police Department says they began getting calls of smoke from people passing by the former Cypress Knolls neighborhood. When first responders arrived, they found roughly 100 square foot of fire, and police say that the main concern for a fire in the area is the lack of access to water.
I think the biggest concern for our fire department is that there is no active water system out here. As in this case here, it's just a small 100 square foot fire. They did have to call in assistance from Presidio Monterey Fire Department, including the use of a water tender so that they could have sufficient water to put these flames out.
Police say no injuries have been reported, adding that there is nothing immediately suspicious about the fire. Time now is 5:34. Let's take you outside, taking a live look from our Salinas backyard cam here as people get ready to start their Thursday. It looks like a pretty busy day right there, Erica. Traffic already getting underway for this time of the morning.
Everybody's starting off their Thursday already. That sunrise, by the way, is at 6:20 a.m. this morning, so we still got a little time before we start to see some of that light. But we are dealing with some low clouds. We have had some fog already forming this morning. It kind of developed pretty early, and around Salinas, we're starting to see some of that visibility decrease. And along Highway 1 especially, that's where we're really starting to see some of that coastal fog developing. So around the peninsula, pretty much into Watsonville, we are dealing with some poor visibility for that morning commute. Starting to see that a little bit from Hollister into the Santa Clara Valley as well. So most of us will be dealing with some sort of fog for that morning commute. We might even get a little bit of drizzle as well, though I haven't seen any numbers on that quite yet or any reports on that yet either. So something we're continuing to watch. Now, these low clouds are going to be sticking around for the majority of the morning, but they will be kind of disrupted as we do have some high clouds that will start to be moving through our area. This will help to destabilize our atmosphere, and that means those low clouds, especially inland, will be disappearing fairly quickly, much more quicker than they have been over the last couple of mornings. But look at this. We already have some activity happening, already seeing some lightning in Kern County, also seeing some of that shower activity occurring in Santa Barbara County, as well as San Luis Obispo, starting to see some of those showers moving up that direction. This is heading our way. We do have the chance to see some isolated showers and thunderstorms. I'm going to be breaking it all down for you and what you can expect coming up in your full forecast.
A Utah man shot and killed on Wednesday during an FBI raid. Authorities were attempting to serve him an arrest warrant after he allegedly threatened to kill President Biden, his family, and several others. Ed O'Keefe has more on this raid.
According to court filings, just 3 days ago, Craig Robertson posted that he'd heard President Biden was coming to Utah. Robertson made a threat, saying he would be cleaning the dust off the M24 sniper rifle. A.T. Smith is a former Secret Service deputy director and CBS News consultant.
I think this is about as extreme as it gets.
Video shot by neighbors apparently shows the FBI raid, which began this morning, and at some point explosions are seen. One neighbor said they heard around 6 gunshots and that Robertson's body was eventually brought out to the street. Early Wednesday, sources tell CBS News an FBI team tried to arrest Robertson at his Provo, Utah home, less than an hour's drive from where the president's traveling tonight. Some kind of confrontation ensued, and Robertson died in a shootout. The FBI had been investigating Robertson for 5 months for allegedly making threats against other officials, among them Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg, New York Attorney General Letitia James, and Attorney General Merrick Garland, all of them overseeing criminal or civil proceedings against former President Donald Trump. In March, using Truth Social, a platform favored by Trump, Robertson said he would be traveling to New York to fulfill his dream of killing Bragg. The criminal complaint includes allegations of more than 24 other threats against Vice President Harris, prosecutors, and FBI agents.
There is a line to be crossed, and clearly this individual crossed that line.
A White House official says the president was briefed on the FBI raid shortly after the shootout while on his 4-day tour of the western states. Americans' credit card balances tipped the $1 trillion mark for the first time, and experts say while all that spending shows consumer confidence, it also reveals pockets of trouble for those in a cycle of debt. Americans' combined credit card balance rose $45 billion in the second quarter to get us above the $1 trillion mark. A recent Bankrate report shows that 54 million Americans have been carrying their credit card debt for over a year, even as 53% of cardholders pay their credit card bill off in full every month.
The other 47% carry debt. That 47% with debt is up from 39% 2 years ago. So unfortunately, we're moving in the wrong direction there. A story about high inflation, high interest rates,
As for getting back out of debt, experts recommend getting a 0% balance transfer card, looking for a reputable nonprofit credit counseling agency to help you, or selling items that you no longer need to help pay back your debt. In some parts of the country, birds smacking into windows can be a serious problem, not just for the birds, but for also the local community. Straight ahead, we show you how one company is working to create glass that birds won't try to fly into. Plus, Colorado recovering this morning after a tornado tore through and a lot of hail. But first, let's get you out the door with our Erica Bertine.